Look at how this face is revealed. You get this shaft of light and then it rotates around. And then we see their reactions when it comes back out of the impact frame. Take a look at these tentacles. Do you by any chance have a concept for an animated movie or TV series? Is that you? Have you had this idea in the back of your mind for a long time of like what would be a really cool animation, like either a short film or a feature film or a mini series, Netflix series, something like that? And you thought to yourself, how cool would it be if I got to direct that, if I got to make that with a team of artists? But getting there can be pretty tricky, of course. How do you get there? It's a difficult question. It's a difficult road to follow. Conventional wisdom would tell you that you need to create a pitch Bible, kind of like a blueprint of the series, complete with synopsis, character design, environment designs, written story outline, and you wrap all of that information into a big PDF or a printed portfolio. You schedule meetings with any production house that will hear you out on your idea, and you try and get meetings, and then you try and nail the pitch where you explain to them what this animation is going to look like, your vision for this project. And that's all well and good. Sometimes that works and sometimes you create that. But the problem with that is that you are relying on an investor or a team of investors to be able to use their imagination and get to the same kind of vision that you have. And doing that through words can be pretty difficult. But what if I told you that there was a way to make your project way more likely to get funding? Now, this isn't a brand new strategy, but it takes that idea of a pitch Bible to a completely different level. And it's a strategy you might not have considered. And that's the strategy of taking your concept and your designs and creating a trailer for your film that almost kind of pretends as if the film has already been made, as if the film already exists and it's ready to release in theaters. And through making a trailer for your film or for your TV series, it takes more work, but you're able to cut together these scenes and convey your vision in a way that anyone can understand and get a feel for just by watching this short trailer. And it will only take them 30 seconds to a minute to absorb that and to just see exactly what your vision is going to be like. And that's exactly what this industry animator did. His name is Rodrigo Souza. And he works full-time as an industry animator, but on the side, he was steadily animating this trailer by himself with the hopes that it will be seen by an investor. Now, we're going to watch this trailer for a film that doesn't exist yet, and hopefully one day it will exist. I think it's fresh. It's very different from the animated films that are being made right now. Let's have a look. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. That's nice. Nice. Wow, look at that ending shot. That is so freaking cool. Yeah, wow, okay. We gotta dissect some of this. I'm gonna break some of this down frame by frame. I think it deserves it. But also, let's just have a look through some of these shots. These shots are put together to give you a kind of feel for what the film is going to be. And I feel like it does a really good job in doing that, because not only do you have these terrifying boss level horror creatures that are spawning, by the looks of it, they're spawning from these little insect pods. Ew. So it gives a little bit of the backstory as well. But also you have these nice moments. These two siblings who are stuck in this place, but there's also these moments of wonder, like this little shot here with these little creatures going around, and we'll have a look at that. You've got some really cool creative use of lighting. I think in horror films, one of the most effective forms of horror lighting is just the front light. So you have a torch and you're shining it at something and it creates this silhouetted back shadow of a character, which is what you can see here. Yeah, if this film comes out, I'm totally gonna watch it and I'm gonna be scared out of my mind. Another thing that works really well in horror, in a scary film like this, is taking something familiar, cranking it up to an absurd or crazy level. A lot of the things in these shots are things that you will know from your childhood. So have a look in the background here. What do you recognize about these? It's Lego blocks. Everyone knows these, and it's something from your childhood memories, and it's making a little bit of a nightmare out of them. Here we've got the hopscotch, which is something that's in children's games in the background. Here we've got the slides, the water slides that you'd have in a water park, right? But there's something terrifying that's crawling out from the slide. It's coming to get you. Let's just have a look at this face for a moment because it's illuminating and it's really striking about this. So it's got this sad face that's not lit up because it's just crawling out. Look at how this face is revealed. You get this shaft of light and then it rotates around and it's a happy face that's really lit up. And then we see their reaction, right? I'm guessing this is the point of view. We're all familiar with this kind of environment. It's like these big play warehouses that your parents will have taken you to as a kid for your birthday party, maybe your 8th birthday party or something. But yeah, I really like how this piece moves as well. Some of these creatures, they're so smooth and like stealthy, but they've got this way of moving that just gives me the absolute creeps. Let's have a look at this guy. So this is good. So this is like a take on the kind of playing with blocks that you'll have done when you were really young. You've got the triangle, circle, square, and later on you see these shapes kind of rip out of his body. And he kind of looks like a spider here. He's got this big like circular thing, and just have a look at the way this circular thing kind of moves and sways around a little bit haphazardly. Whoa, and he's kind of weaving like this, like a predator, like seeking it out. And then after weaving like this and you're seeing the whole body in motion with the 4 hands that are coming down like this, then you might have missed the face here. You might have missed that on first viewing, which is why he then goes in for the close-up. And you see these deranged eyes that are just like open, like wide open, with this big smile, this inappropriate smile. Oh, it's terrifying. Look at these teeth. Oh, it's these fangs. It just gives me the absolute creeps. This guy is very good at scaring kids, I think. He has a talent for it. I think this might even be a walk cycle, so you could probably loop this, which is much more efficient this way. And you've got this kind of parallax. This foreground here, what I didn't notice straight away is that this foreground, it's not just ground, it's not just a grid floor. I thought it was at first, but when you look closely, it's actually like one of these cargo nets that's really popular in kids' playgrounds where they have the connecting parts of the ropes. So this character doesn't have feet, it just has 4 hands and these little feet dangling down, which create this overlapping action, which you can see if I play it. The feet are just dragging behind. Ew. But the 4 arms are hands and they're grabbing this rope and like he's pulling himself forward with it. Reaching forwards, grabbing the net and like pulling himself forward. Humans and creatures, they don't really pull themselves forwards. So to see this creature pull himself forward by these nets like this is just gross. It's haunting. The background here is left still. It's just a still image with a little bit of camera movement, and that's because it's really big. All of a sudden, this place is like a really big room. Instead of there being this small claustrophobic space, he's just created a really wide space with something that can run faster than you. That's pretty scary. But then you've also got a shot like this, which is a very endearing moment where these 2 siblings are sat down, they're chilling, and they're just seeing all of these friendly little creatures going. Now, they're unnatural, they're glowing in kind of a weird way, but they seem kind of cool with it. And I really like the imagination in each of these characters. I'm just gonna loop this shot so you can see it over and over again. And we can see that he's injected these special ideas into each of these little toys that's going along. Some of them have like supernatural things happening. Like this one here, it's flowing along in this kind of zigzag like this, but it's actually not moving. These things are just rising up from the ground and then falling back down when it's moved on. So it looks like this. Just have a look. That's a great idea. Probably didn't take him long. Maybe it took him half an hour or less, maybe 20 minutes to just do that little sequence. But it's different from the others. All of these creatures have something special, and there's a real attention to detail with this trailer. This is definitely a labor of love. You see that? I like this shot a lot. And then of course, you also have taking from different parts in the 3-act structure. Maybe they find a way to overcome these creatures, and so this might be from the 3rd act. You know, it's a little sample of what you can expect later on in the 3rd act, where these kids are able to fight their demons. So let's have a look at this one. Really badass move here. We've got this hammer coming along, bang, like that. Really, really, really cool. So we've got this very nice move towards the camera, falling down towards the camera. Nice little motion blurs here. It's always cool to break down an animator's frame by frame and see how they have their own special, unique hand. It's like their fingerprint. It can really distinguish an animator when you look at it frame by frame. So here we've got this little flash of light. I imagine this is where the character is. And we see this flash of light appear. This must be the hammer here that goes overhead, and then bang, look at this. Look at that impact frame. Look, we've got 2 impact frames here. We've got the orb of light here, and then it changes to this. We've got this noise that's kind of created like this. That looks really cool. And then it's silhouetted, so you can do this, and then you can kind of erase into it like this to create that look. Really cool idea. And then this one's really cool as well. And you can see that face is really caved in. You can see that's a big blow like that. And it keeps that caved in look when it comes back out of the impact frame. Take a look at these tentacles. Now the whole shot brightens way up, and these are like balls, kind of like from a ball pit, because as you know, it's taking things from what you're familiar with in childhood, making them terrifying. Take a look at this. We've got the legs here, and the impact is here, right? Watch the legs. It sends down, that impact sends down these ripples that go through the legs. Very, very epic shot. We've got a little bit of a halo coming out here that I call it the Death Star explosion, you know. Look at these motion blurs. They get really, 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 really steep here. If you look at the shot here, it's like nighttime, but then it kind of turns to daytime with these colors. And then it starts to come back here. Very, very nice. So yeah, I really, really like this trailer. This short trailer has 5.6 million views from what I can see online. 5.6 million views. Do you think anyone in those 5.6 million people who watch this animation might be an investor or might have ties to an investor? Probably. And there's a kind of psychology at play here as well, where if you're applying to studios and investments, it's like you're chasing them. But if you go ahead and you make the first move, you bring out the trailer, you show that you have what it takes to create this thing, you show that you have a vision, well then, the psychology is kind of flipped and they're the ones chasing you. So I think this is a really smart move for a filmmaker or for someone who wants to create an original concept, a series that wants funding opportunities. He's also expressed his intention here that this is intended to be a larger project. And yeah, I just really hope this gets made because this is such a fun, novel, fresh idea that I would really like to see. I'm also a big fan of horror art. Like, I'm weirdly drawn to artists who make these terrifying, haunting images. Or there's this 3D artist called Oleg Dovenko. These artists, their work is not for the faint of heart, but it's really, really good stuff. It's like a little obscure genre that I like to venture into every now and then just to scare the crap out of myself. So I think if you want to get funding for your animation, this is an excellent way to do it. It takes more work, but you convey your vision to the letter. So congratulations to Rodrigo Souza for pulling this off. If you want to learn more about 2D animation, if you want to learn the fundamentals or take your abilities beyond the fundamentals to advanced animation, I have courses that go into the animation principles in great depth. Animation principles, drawing principles, directing principles, it's all there on animatedguild.com. I'll leave the link in the description of this video. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.